The following program is rated PG. Parental guidance is recommended.
My name is Peter Maina. I was born 56 years ago in Vikale for 5, but I come from Gatanga in Murang'a County. I was born in a Christian family, grew up like a normal child, and went to school in the local primary school, where I went for my primary up to 1977. When I did my CPE, I passed and joined secondary school in Jobe High School, where I also did well in my O-levels. And I joined my A-levels in Senior Chief Koinange in Kiambu, where I finished in 1984. I never qualified for university, but I joined Kenya Polytechnic for my CPA course, which I pursued, and I did up to CPA 2 in 1986 and got employment in Kenya National Assurance Company. By then it was called Bima ya Taifa. I worked there for 2 years. I shifted work to Onga Limited, where I also shifted. Again, I changed work to Witsa as an accountant. And also Witsa, I never took wrong. What I can say about my background is that my addiction, alcohol addiction, started way back in college. And this is due to, I'll call peer pressure. Peer pressure is that you want to belong. You want to belong to a group of friends whom you are working with and you are schooling with. And you don't want to be left alone. So I started experimenting, and it continued. Actually, the problem came to be evident when I got employment in Kenya National Assurance Company. And this was because I have salary. Now I have my own money. I was able to live by myself, so there was nobody to look after me. So I was my own boss. And the drinking continued. It never went down. And with the time, this habit escalated. And back after 3 years, I lost my job, which was actually due to my drinking. There was nothing else other than because of drinking. Once I get the salary, I abscond work until I finish the salary is when I report back. So I was discontinued. I stayed out. Then I got another job. I was lucky to be employed by Unga Limited, And with addiction, one does not surely able to control himself. So what happened, I continued. Having gotten the job, I have money, I'm living by myself, I continued with my drinking. This was around 1994, and I worked there, and during my work is when I met my wife back in 1996. We got married and we lived happily, but only for a short while, because there was still this problem of my drinking. And I continued with my habit, trying to stop by myself, which was not possible, because I would say, tomorrow I'm not going to do this. Next week I'm not going to do this. But I find myself back there. And that is the issue with addiction, whether it is with the drugs, with the alcohol, or prescription pills. My main addiction was alcohol. I lost my job in Unga Limited. I stayed out. Actually, I didn't get employment for quite a while. So what I used to do to sustain myself, to sustain my alcohol drinking, and also to sustain my family, was to go out and look for work by myself. That is doing bookkeeping, doing audit, doing VAT returns, KRA end of year returns to different clients. I used to get clients all over in Nairobi. And actually, this being so free, because I'm by myself, I'm self-employed, this even went deeper to my drinking. And back in 2003, I was hopeless. I could not even look for clients, and I was with no finances. And at this time, it went even further to break my family. I would say we separated at this juncture, because I could not even sustain them. And what the wife was getting was not enough to sustain us. So she just took off and went back to her parents with the children. When I started my drinking, which was normal, the casual drinking was by experimenting through peer pressure. You find that you have colleagues who you are schooling with, who you are in college with, and they are using, and you want to join, you want to belong, and by and by, and that this is by at the experimental stage, and by, addiction comes in because of repeating a habit again and again. Once I got employment, already I'm out of college, is when now drinking proper now came to enforce, because I'm staying by myself, I have nobody to look up to, I am my own boss other than work. So this is when now addiction came in, because through peer pressure, it was just the experimental stage and wanting to belong. But addiction came in when I got my first employment, when now I am independent, staying by my own self. I have my house, and I have nobody to look up to, and other than now employment. And this is now when addiction surely hit me, whereby it even cost my first job. In 3 years, I was out of employment due to the same alcohol addiction because of absconding work. Thereon is when I went freelance. By going freelance, I went to self-employment because I would not get job easily due to this addiction, and also because I also want to be dependent. And it went now really hard on me because this time I have nobody to report to. I am my own boss, and I was working for various clients. And it is at this point where it even affected my family, where we had to separate because I could not sustain them, because it was to sustain them and also to sustain my drinking, which was quite a burden. And due to the addiction, I was not able to let go my addiction to be able to sustain my family. She had to leave. She went back to her parents. And this time I actually was even losing clients. I could not even go for clients. So I became hopeless. I became useless in such a way that by 2003, actually my siblings took me for a rehab in Asumbi. Asumbi is in Homa Bay, the first rehab in East Africa. Actually, it was almost the only rehab by then. I went through the program. I finished after 3 months, which is the normal commercial and rehab. And actually, what I can say of secular rehab, which are commercial, what they do, I would not call it a rehab, because once you get to the program, it is the AA program, Alcoholic Anonymous program, which is worldwide. It is international. But what they do actually, because it's something I've gone through, the program, you learn how to be addicted. You are taught how to be addicted. And then you are taught how to come out of that addiction. Let me say, in addiction, and it came to be evident in such a way that by the time I'm waking up, it reached a point that once I wake up, I would, first and foremost, I could not even hold a pen. I was shaking. So the first thing, it's either I had left something to open, to kunaitwa kujifungua lock, to have a shot so that I am able to light, because my hands were shaking. And from then, I would go to work. After I go to work, and I'm talking of when now I was in Unga Limited at Industry Area, where we had worked out that every lunch hour you are going to for lunch, and we would have a combined lunch where we would put a kilo or two, 3 or 4 of us, and by the time we go for the meat to be ready, we have already taken 2 or 3 beers. So already in the afternoon, we are already charged. By the time we are leaving work, the first thing, nothing else, straight to the bus. And this was a normal daily routine. We would drink until after midnight. In the morning, as I wake up, there was nothing I could do. I could not even hold a pen. And I would be shaking all over. So I have to use so that I am stable. Again, at this point, the relation with my family was bad. Of course, it had severed. I'm not providing for them. All I'm minding is how I can get my drug of choice. And that's how it came to be that we separated. And my wife took over. I was also not relating with my siblings because they would not understand how I would be working. Somebody who has a profession, but all I'm thinking of is drinking. While them, they are prospering, doing well in life, raising their family. But here all I'm involved in is all about alcohol. It's either I've been locked in because I was caught late at night drinking, or long hours. And again, also the relationship between myself and my employer was also bad. Actually, it reached a point that it was evident that surely I'm totally away from the reality of life, the normal reality of life. And all this has been brought because of my addiction in alcohol. My addiction in alcohol, let me say, from the onset, other than before addiction, you are enjoying and you are feeling you are enjoying, which is not real. It is just cosmetic, because you enjoy for that time you are high, and then thereafter, when you are sober, you are nagging, or you are even scratching your head, and you don't even know where to get the next coin, even to go to work or to. So you are left in problems. Wherever you are sober, after the happiness you had, it is all problems. Right from your fare to go to work, no communication, because all you can communicate with is the people you have been using with. And they also are not able to help you because they will even laugh at you. That is the position. There is no actual benefit that I would say I acquired out of my drinking. My addiction, I would say, really affected negatively, socially, economically, and financially. In all ways, it really affected my life, because first and foremost, I severed the relationship, that is the family relationship, with my siblings, with my own family. Again, I could not sustain them because financially I was not able. But because it has been brought, my being unable was being brought in by my addiction. Because what I was earning I was all 90% would go to my usage. And I would not say there would have been any benefit out of my addiction, because it have affected me negatively, and even my social standing. If I compare myself with my siblings who we have grown and raised together, I count myself a loser. I would call myself one who is like the prodigal son, because I've squandered. I've had the opportunity, I've had good work, but I squandered it all in addiction, other than having to uplift myself in life. Let me say, when I was starting, I would call it now proper drinking, is when I got employed. And I was about 20 to 21 years old, just when I got to employment. Because now I was able to buy for myself, and I was independent because I was staying by my own self. And from 1990, at no one point did I reduce my usage or think of stopping to use. If anything, I actually accelerated, and then I wanted more and more, which actually brought in addiction. And that is by the time, by 2003 is when I joined the first rehabilitation. That is after that is after 90 and 23. 03, after 13 years, after almost 15 years of, after 13 to 15 years of proper drinking is when I joined the first rehab, since from 1990.
Business, broadcast your sermon, share birthday wishes, make funeral announcements, produce adverts and documentaries, then book and advertise with us today by calling us on +254 700 893 542 700 893 542 or email us on sales@luke-up.tv.
Please make those payments and take dinner out the freezer. Enjoy your day off.
Hey.
How was your day?
Great.
Did you pay the bills?
Abby did it.
And the plumber?
Abby did it.
Send money to your mom?
Abby did it.
Who's Abby?
Bank on WhatsApp with Abby, your 24/7 digital personal banker. Another digital innovation that gets things done. That's Africanacity. That's ABSA.
Did you take dinner out the freezer?
This November, a gathering of music ministers from all over East Africa. It's Kenya Music Ministers Conference with Mavo Jokes. Theme: the music, the minister, the mandate. Date: Saturday, November 6, 2021. Time: morning session 9 a.m., evening session 5 p.m. Venue: Tabernacle of Grace City of Hope at City Square House behind Kenya Cinema, Nairobi, Kenya. Also ministering: Jackie Kelvin, Rosemary Njage, Size 8 Reborn, Anthony Musembi, Messalina, Promise Prince, Agusan Sunday, Irene Seeger, and many more.
Hi there, music is beyond the melody, the rhythm, and even the lyrics. Music is spiritual. The gospel in this end time will only travel to the ends of the earth, except on the wings of music. My name is Marvel Jokes. I'm an international music minister and author and also a teacher of the word. Do not want to miss this meeting for anything wherever you are. I'll see you in Kenya. God bless you.
This conference will also be aired live on YouTube at Marvel Jokes TV. Do subscribe and connect live.
Yeah.
Are you looking to turn your passion to purpose? Vera Beauty and Fashion College now brings you online classes at the comfort of your home. We are a TVET-approved institution with over 20 years experience in training competency-based courses in fashion design and creative arts, cosmetology, hairdressing, beauty therapy, interior design in soft furnishings, event decoration and flower arrangement, hospitality and catering, and training of trainers. To enroll, call us today on 0704 577 577 or visit our website at www.verabeautycollege.com. Vera Beauty and Fashion College, a center of excellence.
Help me identify a beautiful womb. I never came across one till I got to Vera.
Did you know the world's top icons and legends who have made history are dyslexic? Dyslexia is a learning disorder that is characterized by difficulty in reading due to problems with identifying speech sounds and learning how they relate to letters and words. Dyslexia affects areas of the brain that process language. Symptoms include delayed speech, learning new words slowly, and a delay in reading. These legends made it, and so can your child.
Like, follow, subscribe, click the notification button. Join the Lookup TV movement now.
Back 2003, when I had lost the job, I was doing my own self-employed work. I had lost all the clients. I lost my family because of my addiction in alcohol. This is the time I was quite desperate. This is the time I was totally hopeless. I had no care because I had nothing. I relied even on hanging around to look for my friends to support me, and I would even hang into clubs. It reached a point that I was rock bottom. I was down. I was done. This is where now you surrender because of what your choice have brought you to be. Because you live now like you are even a beggar, you can do nothing because you are not even able to work. This is when now my siblings actually came together and they decided the best is for me to join rehabilitation because I cannot do anything. Even if I get work, I cannot work because I have to be, I have to charge myself with alcohol, even to hold a pen to write, or even to use a computer. And I had no choice. I had no alternative. When you are rock bottom, when you are that desperate and you are hopeless, you have no choice. So I accepted because to me, it was even better. I'll be taken care of. And the rehab, I'm being told, it's a boarding. So I accepted, not because I wanted to leave alcohol, no, but because I had no other choice. And the way life was, I had no way to sustain myself. So I joined Asubi 2003 for a 3-month program, which is the normal program for AA. And AA program, how they operate is they teach, other than counseling, what you are taught about how you can get to addiction. And then you are taught how you can come out of that addiction. One thing I came to learn is that the commercial rehab, which is the secular rehab, and the AA program, what they believe and what they take as the truth is that addiction is inherited. It's an X factor. You live, even if you go through this program, you live as a recovering addict, but you cannot leave addiction. So they call those who are successful, those who have maintained not to drink again or to come out of that addiction. It's not that they will leave addiction, because it is inborn. And this is a notion, this is a belief that is totally untrue, because at no point has there been any medical or scientific fact that addiction is an X factor. They don't even tell you what is this X factor. There is not even a formula to this idea of you are born in addiction. All I know, and this is the truth, is that addiction is a choice one makes. Addiction comes about through a habit you have acquired and repeated again and again and again, such that the body will be used to what you have been using. And if you stop, you cannot operate, because you have used and you have made your body be subject to what you have been using, and it cannot operate if you have not used. That is what is addiction, but not that one is born with an addiction. Addiction is a habit that is repeated again and again and again, and it reaches now to a point that it becomes an addiction, because what you are using is something that has addiction effect. It has caffeine, it has that element that will addict a human being to be able to use, to be able not to be able to do without, because he has repeatedly done it again and again. So it's become normal to him. I finished I've completed successfully the program. At no point, actually, I was even enthusiastic to finish the program, because here I'm being taught how I can be an addict, not only for alcohol, but also for other substances. That is cocaine, heroin, bangi, and prescription pills. So I was very enthusiastic to finish and to graduate, so that I go out and now do the experimenting and now try other than alcohol, because I have been taught and I have learned how I can be an addict and how I can come out of. Actually, immediately I finished from Asumbi to Homa Bay. Once I reached Homa Bay, by the time I joined the rehab, the Kibaki government had not come in. And when they came in, I was in the rehab. And they had already introduced the wine and spirit to be packed in sachets. So by the time we reached Homa Bay, they were they were like kiosks selling cigarettes of wine and spirit. So I was really so happy to find, oh, I thought wine and spirit is these big shops you cannot even enter. And here you have them selling 10 shillings. Actually, I bought, I think, about 20. And I stashed them in my pocket. And we took the bus now to Nairobi. I didn't even see Kisii. I was being woken up, totally drunk, when I reached Ambassador. And that is the life of an addict who has relapsed from a circular rehab. Because here you go, you are taught how you can be an addict, and then you are taught how you can come out of that addiction and live a life without using, but living recovering as a recovering addict. That is the secular rehab. I worked thereby. I went back to work. Actually, I joined. The experience was, let me say, it was my first rehab, and this I'm a family man who have been out there for over almost 20 years, and coming to a rehab, you are living in a dormitory like you are in school, and then it was quite, it was not comfortable in the first place, because you are in a rehab with young ones who are almost your children. Others are okay young, and they still in their adolescence, and you are living together, doing everything together. It was quite challenging. But bearing in mind and knowing where I had come from, in that hopelessness state, I had to bear, and knowing that it's only for 90 days, and then I clear this, I was able to overcome and persevere and make it. Let me say, my relationship, my rehab had not much effect, because this is a place I've gone. What was expected of me, it never came to be, because I relapsed immediately. And from there, I went full throttle, drinking as if I've not been in a program to curtail my drinking. So actually, it even worsened the situation because here I'm already guilty. Now because of that shame and that guilty, I went full throttle. Even whatever work I got, I never sustained any work. I just went back to my old self-employment, looking for clients, and life continued with my hustling and the difficulties and my addiction, which it didn't take long. It took me about 3 to 4 years. Then I went back because this time now it was really bad. I went back to a rehab in Lemuru, Jogs, ARC Rehabilitation. And that is 2007, where I completed. And even after completing, I worked because this time was, now you do the 3 months he did 3 years ago and you go back to drinking. So why don't we have him there and he can work? And the owner of Jogzak, Mr. Joroge, was a family friend. So immediately I finished, he enrolled me as a teacher, and we continued working with him for some time. And after 6 months, that is when I was given permission to go and meet my family. And that was it. Again, I went back to the relapse. Actually, by the time I was going back to work, he just told me, Peter Maina, you just pack, go. I was given leave because after 6 months and I've worked for 3 months, I was given leave. And now I'm being given leave with the 3 months salary. Same thing repeated itself. Let me say, what I would say for secular rehabs is that their success in rehabilitation or helping addicts with the life controlling issues is about 10%. And it is because of their approach and also what they teach. If anything, it promotes the addict to be more addicts than to be people who have abstained. Actually, once I got my 3 months salary, by the time I was reaching home, I was already done. Just like it was in Subu. But what I would say is that in the first place, I was not ready to stop. Even when I was going in the first Subi, the first rehab, and also the second one, I was only going there because it's the only place out of hopelessness. Knowing that I'll go there, I'll know all the tricks about addiction, and then I'll come out and drink humbly and normally, and like a gentleman. I lost the job immediately because the owner of Subi told me, no, Jogzak told me, now you just pack. If you feel you can join, you can now only join as a student again because you have already relapsed. So I took off and I went and continued with my normal life. That is of self-employment, because now I would have nobody to hold me hand, to hold me because of my, and those who have helped me, I've let them down. And that is my siblings, I've let them down. So nobody hata alikuwa anataka kuniona. So I continued. Now I would say self-employment, until 2014. Actually, I left Nairobi because I had conned so many of my clients. I would con them out that I have filed their returns, they will pay me, and they will pay to pay the tax for the year, but I would not do that. I would squander the money and give them fake returns, which are not real. So for a while, I was being chased all over by different clients, because I have not done their work. They have paid me, and I have faked the documents and shown them that I have filed the returns. This was quite serious. It had to make me leave Nairobi. Actually, I took off and I went back home. I went to Thika, and Thika I joined a colleague, a friend of mine, who had a car bazaar, that is Gashero Motors, and he had an insurance agency, Gashero Insurance Agency, where I was working more so because I know about insurance. I was working more so in the insurance agency while he was doing the car bazaar, that is second-hand selling and buying cars. I worked with him, and now this is now full throttle drinking all over, because here we are at the car bazaar. We are self-employed, so asubuhi ni kuamukia Musinga, hiyo ndio tunaamuka nayo, alafu mtu anaenda shughuli zake. What I would say about those who are vulnerable out there in the world is that they need to join and be close to their families, and they should be mostly, I would say, the church will play a big role in eradicating addiction, those life-controlling issues out there. The government can play a part also by enhancing and equipping the Nakanda, which is a parastatal under the Ministry of Health, where they can reach out to the youth who are vulnerable for the addiction. Again, the government can take the mantle by having the lifting the economic and the social welfare of the society. As a country, as a government, they will be able to minimize or eradicate the usage, because some part of the big problem is unemployment, and also the hard economic situation that is prevailing. Again, also under security, the government should step up so that it can enhance the rules to be able to control the usage of substance use, The church also, as I've just said, should take the initiative, because they will be there to guide and to bring forth the society to God and to Christianity, with the Christianity playing a bigger role. The churches are in the forefront to spread the word, which will bring Christianity to the fore, and one will realize surely the kind of life I'm living is not Christian-like.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 0700 893 542 or send us an email to views@look-up.tv. We can't wait to hear from you.
A lot of people in Kenya don't realize that there are women who are riding motorcycles. It always gets most people by surprise. My name is Amanya Kuchio. I am the co-founder of FEM Logistics, which is a courier and errand service company with services provided by an all-female team of riders and runners. My fellow co-founder, Njeri Mbogo, and I were sitting down at the end of 2019, just reviewing our year, and we've always had the vision to do this work. We agreed that I would start off by working for another courier company just to understand the landscape of the business as we try and build our clientele base and just let people know that we are in the business or we are getting into the business. We started officially in January of 2020 and here we are. We realized there is a gap in terms of professionalism and reliability in the industry. So what drives us is being able to fill that gap, and we are passionate about creating a platform for women to be economically empowered and sustainable as well. Some of the services that we offer as FEM Logistics is parcel deliveries, shopping, grocery shopping, laundry pickup and drop off, personal errands to the bank, garage runs, just basically anything that you need that will make your life easier, convenient, we do that. We work basically across the country, so anything you need done, you'll just let us know and we figure out how we will sort it out for you. There are several challenges that we face. We are exposed to accidents and crashes every now and then. A lot of road construction going on, so getting around is extremely challenging nowadays. I love riding, so it's exciting to do the thing that you love every single day, to serve and to make people's lives easier. It gives us motivation for the work that we do. Definitely Safaricom makes our life much easier. Sometimes we are doing a delivery to an area we are not familiar with, so we are able to use the data to use Google